Ready?
I don't think that.
Oh, good.
I'm a little younger than you.
Because they have all this on
I don't know what maybe that's like 16.
You guys ready to start? Yes. Yeah, okay. Maybe make sure your mics are on. Or not. And we'll call the working session to order at 6:04. Up first, so it was canceled. Jeff Burcham under Citizens Forum.
Ivor, no talking. Shh.
So we have Jeff Burcham down for the Bandana Project Suicide Awareness and Prevention Program.
Good evening. I think that's working. Thought I would just share with the board this evening a project that we're thinking about getting going in the school. It's called the Green Bandana Program. And it's, in a nutshell, it's just a simple yet innovative suicide prevention and mental health awareness movement that other schools that have seen some good success in this program. Basically what this green bandana, and I'm going to explain it as best I can, it tackles the two obstacles that we see when dealing with mental health. The first one is having people actually come forward when they do suffer from mental health issues. It's less than 20% of people that suffer from mental health actually do approach somebody or get the necessary help that they need. The second obstacle is once that person does come forward and says, hey, I need help, that the people that they go to, friends, classmates, whoever it is, they don't know the resources where to send these people. And that's what this Green Bandana project is. It's basically getting those two obstacles. The history of this started at about 7 years ago now at the University of Wisconsin, Madison. It was started by some students that had been affected in their own families by suicide that happened in their families, and they just saw the need for it, where we're seeing that the biggest group of people that are involved with suicide are that 15 to 24-year-old. I mean, there's 1,000 a year on campuses, at high schools, wherever that the youth are. And basically this program, what it does is we're going to have a mental health professional come in, talk to our students, talk to faculty, talk to the school board, whoever wants to be involved with this program, and tell them that it's okay to have mental illness, to talk about mental illness, to destigmatize mental illness. And through those lectures, a day, not even a day, a few hours, the kids are going to two things. They're going to sign a pledge at that day, and basically the pledges, I'll read a couple of these. I will listen if you talk about your mental health and will respond without judgment. I'll help direct you in mental health resources or support and get you the professional help. The one that I really like, I understand that it's okay to both struggle with my own mental health, that you're signing that if I'm struggling, I will go to somebody. And how will these students get to know who these people that they can trust and go talk to? Well, they're going to be wearing a green bandana of some sort, whether they want to put it on their backpack, wear it around their neck, around their wrist, put it on their locker. I can see teachers having this on their desk. Just being aware that this is somebody that is struggling with their mental health can go. The second part of that is we're going to give all the kids or whoever's involved that go through a little bit of training. We're going to give them cards with local people to contact and national numbers on who to contact. We're going to give them when your airplane luggage. You can buy those little the little plastic things that hold your card with your name and things. We're going to give those out to kids and just let them have it available right there next to the backpack, or have it when that person comes to them. We've got some local groups that are involved. They're going to help us with this program. We got the Minnesota Honor Society is going to help. We also have some financial backing. It isn't going to cost the school board anything. The local Suicide and Awareness Prevention Committee is stepping up and is going to help. And we also have a group out of Bemidji, the Stelher Human Services, that are going to actually do the part on talking to the kids and getting them. One thing that we do mention to all the kids, they're not counselors. We don't expect that. They want to make good listeners out of them. We want to be able to tell them or have the resources. Here, you should talk to somebody. I'll help you make that call. Those are the kind of things that we're looking at with this program. That's about what I got. It's pretty straightforward, and we're hoping to get this going this spring. I could see a Green Bandana Day sometime of the year, just supporting this program and taking it from there and starting at the school and hopefully out into the community. Any questions, or in a nutshell, that's where we're at. If not, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Age groups?
What's that?
Kids, age groups?
You know, that I'm talking with, I'm not sure. I don't think it's ever too young to be talking about mental health, suicide, those things. I can't see why we wouldn't go to the elementary. No doubt all the senior high, but I don't know where I guess I'd talk with the mental health professionals, what they're thinking, what they want to do. And just getting, if anybody wants to get involved, we want to help, out in the community or wherever, make everybody know when you have mental health in the Baudette area or at the school that it's okay to talk about it. So, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do have a couple questions, maybe more for you, Jeff. Just
Yep.
as far as, is this the first time you're hearing about this, or?
No, it's not the first time.
Okay. Or
It's
just
been brought up. This is more of the formal.
Okay. If it's being presented to our students and that sort of thing, how does that process work?
Well, we meet administration discussion. No, we haven't.
Okay.
Haven't.
And that's
done
that was kind of my question, is have you had a conversation, and because we've talked about bringing presenters in to talk with students in the past, and there's usually a process to make sure they're kind of what is recommended, and hoping that process is, yeah, okay. And I guess we did have a request for, from Toby Burke to address the board.
Good evening. First off, I like that idea. In case you don't know me, I'm Toby Burke. I've paid taxes here for 37 years, and I've lived here for 32. My kids graduated from this school. We came here because of the school. Through the years, I've been very active, believe it or not, with the school board, mostly behind the scenes. There's been times that I have come in front of this body and have had discussions in open meetings. I think your definition of an open meeting is a little off. When somebody comes in and voices an opinion, we need to have a feedback so that we can have a conversation about different things, curriculum, all kinds of different things. I remember discussions that we had about sports years ago, going co-op. That's how long I've been around. At first, that wasn't a real popular decision, but it worked out because we talked it out in the meetings. Now, if it's not important for the parents to get involved or to be involved with what's going on in the school boards, then there's 32 states as of this afternoon that's putting it in their constitutions. We've had a bill passed in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Congress. It was bipartisan. This is not a political issue, believe it or not. I think it's just a matter of people wanting to parent their children. And there's too many things going on right now in different schools. I won't necessarily say this one, but in different schools, that's not being allowed. And if you let that start, then it's just going to keep going, and it's going to fester until we do have problems. And part of that problem can be seen east of here. With Indus potentially closing down, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled people over there. They already are. And a lot of that was based on people not talking with each other. Very simply put, my background was military, for those of you that don't know me. I believe in talking straight from the shoulder. And I've already talked for your 5 minutes, so thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have board committee reports, and I guess school forest is the only one, so we are planning on building a Adirondack shelter, so we're working on getting quotes for that right now. Ski trails are pretty much wrapped up for the season, I think, just due to warm weather, and I think what else we talked about.
When was the candlelight ski? Like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we had, I think, 70 people.
March 8th,
Yeah.
I believe it was.
70 people in attendance, so it was really well attended. And we are trying to get some youth ski sets for next year, so we've got skis for like a classroom set, basically. Got some goals. Next up is Superintendent Chuck Nelson.
Yep. Is there anything you want me to report back next month regarding open meetings or thoughts on that?
I guess there, maybe Toby didn't pose a question or looking for a response necessarily. Toby, you were.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, were you looking for a response
No,
from the board, just to share, right?
no, because you've already said you wouldn't give one. And your paper out there said you won't discuss it, you won't do anything, make any motion or anything with it. So, no, I didn't expect anything.
Okay.
Because you've already told the public you won't.
Well,
No, there's no will to it, Mr. Nelson.
no, the board won't act on anything this evening, but if you want something to be presented or discussed at the next meeting, we can prepare for it, so. The Citizens Forum is a listening opportunity, and what you're asking for is to have a debate opportunity, and to me, that is something that would be something to discuss, how that would look, because there have been debates at other public school board meetings that have gotten very ugly. And trying to maneuver through some difficult decisions and topics, I think we need to have some kind of ground rules, so.
I understand that this board and citizens have had serious discussions. I've been a part of a couple of them.
Okay.
So yes, I understand. But the bottom line is, we had the discussion. And it was at the time. And it worked out. We didn't have to go out in the parking lot and duke each other out. We got, or worse. We actually sat in this room and discussed the issue. We didn't drag it out.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
It's up to the board what you would like me to do with this.
I guess,
Right. Think about it?
I guess I'm maybe not clear if there's, what the issue is other than to allow for open comment and open discussion during the meeting, but it's not a topic specific,
Yep.
unless I'm missing something, which is possible.
Okay.
So if it were topic specific, like we've been trying to bring things back, and, as far as Katie's comments and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Should I move on then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Number one on my agenda is the enrollment report. We're at 428 students. Elementary's at 238, and that's no change from the previous month. High school 712 is at 190. We're down 1. I have a report on equal access, and I sent this out in the board packet. And I'm just going to read the first part of the statement, and then if there's questions, you can ask. So, our mission at Lakewood School is to ensure that all learners achieve their highest potential and become contributing citizens in a rapidly changing world. We believe that every human being is unique, has worth, value, and deserves respect. We are committed to ensuring that all students are provided a safe place to learn and grow. The district has policies in place that govern the procedures and practices that help to create a safe, respectful, and welcoming community school. Activities and publications are prohibited when they are obscene to minors, are libelous or slanderous, advertise or promote any product or service not permitted for minors by law, encourage students to commit illegal acts or violate school regulations, or substantially disrupts the orderly operation of the school or school activities, express or advocate sexual, racial, or religious harassment or violence or prejudice, and are distributed or displayed in violation of time, place, and manner regulations set by the district. As a community school, we have provided use of the facility to many area organizations and community members. We have held weddings, funerals, North Stars Electric's annual meetings, and numerous public programs sponsored by local businesses, organizations, and local churches. Just this year, we partnered with a local church who sponsored a youth motivational speaker, Terrence Talley. Mr. Talley provided a secular message of purpose and hope for our students during the school day, and a community program with a Christian message in the evening. Throughout, we do our best to walk the fence to ensure that the school, as an arm of the state, does not inhibit or promote one religion, belief, or group over another. Lakewood School recognizes student groups that are both directly related to the educational mission of the school, as well as student groups that are non-academic or school-related. Student groups that are considered to be part of the school program, such as student council, are allowed to meet during the normal school day. We also have agreements with several organizations, such as 4-H and Studs, that are housed in the building and allowed to schedule meetings during the school day. Groups such as Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Girl and Boy Scouts, Taekwondo, and Just for Kicks generally meet outside the normal school day. The district does not require formal parental permission or notification for any of these activities. It has been left to the parents, students, and individual organizations and groups to handle enrollment and permission procedures for non-school related activities. The Equal Access Act requires federally funded schools to grant equal access to all student groups. If a school allows it for one group of students, they must allow it for other groups and cannot discriminate. The Queer Straight Alliance is a student-led group that aims to create a safe and welcoming school environment that is inclusive and affirming of individuals of all gender identities and sexual orientations. This is a non-curricular group and has requested use of the facility after normal school hours. As a protected class, the district must treat them the same as any other group and cannot impose any special requirements. The Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act prohibits improper disclosure of personal identifiable information. It provides parents with access to their child's records and requires parental or student consent prior to disclosure of records. Students retain their own right to privacy while in a school environment, based on both federally statutory law and the U.S. Constitution. Revealing a student's sexual orientation or gender identity, even to parents, not only violates the student's privacy rights, but also can negatively impact a young person's life outside of the school building. Again, the school must treat all groups equally and cannot create special rules or requirements that could be construed as a pretext for discrimination. A safe and affirming school and community is a core element in preserving the life and dignity of our youth. Lakewood School District is committed to providing a safe place for all of our students. We do not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, age, disability, religion, or sex, including pregnancy, sexual orientation, and gender identity. On the following pages in your packet are just excerpts of our district policies related to equal access, facility use, distribution of materials, and student publications. On our website, if you want to look at the whole policy of all those, that's available on our website. And then the rest is just the forms that we use. Any questions on that? Okay. All right, moving on to my next item. I have a legislative update that was in your board packet. I'm not going to read through that. But I highlighted some of the budget targets at the legislature. And I put in the stuff that would provide new revenue. And that includes the aid increase with 5%, special ed 50% reduction to cross subsidy, which brings in about $313,000 of new revenue. Underneath that, I listed some of the legislative measures that are still being debated that would increase our expenses. Family medical leave is one item. The 2.6% TRA increase is another one. Health insurance mandates, 24-hour or $25 an hour minimum wage mandate, earned safe and sick leave, increase in prep time, just to name a few. And when I tally up the cost of our district, we take that revenue and those new mandated expenses, we'd actually go backwards. In addition to the revenue and expenditures, there are a number of bills that will also impact our curriculum. Graduation requirements, there's ethnic studies, climate justice, civics, personal finance services, There's a comprehensive sex ed course in there, affirmative consent, all being debated. And I don't know the specifics of all the course requirements, but I do know that there's a ripple effect with the courses that we already provide. Tomorrow I head down to St. Paul to lobby with the people that are making the decisions down there, and my message is for rural Minnesota is, less is probably better. We need some of the extra revenues, but we don't need all of the extra mandates. And that's Wednesday the 29th is when I'll be down at the Capitol. And the last thing I have, I believe, is the proposed calendar. Most of the committee met. We did some discussion. I sent out and got feedback from some staff. I'm presenting this to the board and to the public to get public input on it. So hopefully it'll get posted in the paper. We don't have a lot of flexibility with when we can start or end the school year. We like to be done by May. We're changing some of the ways that we do parent-teacher conferencing. We're making it more of a week, open-ended, to accommodate parents and teacher work schedules. So you can take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions.
There's nothing significantly different?
No, we,
Like no additional or removed
we're,
days
we
than
did a,
typically do?
we're doing a spring break, Easter break, 5-day vacation next year. Hopefully people can take their trips then.
March or April?
End of March, March
I looked at
28th
it.
through April 1st. I think the biggest change is not, normally we schedule 2 evenings for parent-teacher conferences. We have parents that work out on the ice, or not on the ice in November, I hope, but work at the resorts or have jobs where they can't make it in the evening, so we're trying to be more accommodating to them. And then it'll be formally approved at the April board meeting.
And staff have seen this, you said.
Yes, and everyone has expressed their dislike of one thing or another, so.
Anything else for Jeff right now? Otherwise, we'll move on to Mary.
Okay, good evening. 7th through 11th graders did course registration last week. The week prior, we did a class meeting schedule so they could meet with teachers and teachers could give more details and answer questions on specific classes. And then last week is when Diane and I met with the students and she guided them through putting them on Synergy. And so now we'll go through and look and see if any of them will need to go to their second choice for what they would like, but that process went very smoothly. ACT test will be April 18th, and testing season of MCAs begins the same day and then goes through May 4th for 7th through 11th graders. Prom is scheduled for April 29th, and then the senior trip, they're going to just the cities this year. That's May 18th to the 19th. And then college and career planning, tried to get as much on there as we've done or are looking to do this school year. That is a separate document that you have attached. And then I think whether it was last month or the month before when Boyd asked about MCA scores and looking at over numerous years, Diane is phenomenal, what she can pull and do, and so I did make a copy of that information that I can give you guys later. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
Don't think I have.
Thank you, Mary.
Next up is business office, Sheena.
Okay, I am providing a summary of the Finance Committee meeting. On the revenue side, the state revenue received is $380,880 higher than budgeted. Federal revenues from state are $42,075 higher than budgeted. Federal revenues from the federal government are $9,968 lower than budgeted. Food service has received 61% of budgeted revenues for the year. Community ed has received 23% of budgeted revenues for the year. Grant draws were completed following quarter 2, and there are no changes from last month, with the exception of the COVID testing supplies finance 170 grant. We did expend and draw $20,000, and an application for additional funds has been submitted to MDE. The USDA Supply Chain Assistance Funds, we received a second round of funding, which was $8,000, and we have not received that yet, but we did get a notice that it should be coming. Our expenditures for the year, the salaries and wages are at 61% expended. Employee benefits are 60% expended for the year. Purchase services are 72% expended for the year. Supplies are 88% expended for the year. And supplies and capital equipment are close to 100% expended for the year, with all projections and purchases complete. Our student activity report is attached. Last month, the board approved transfers and payments to be made. All transfers were completed in February and payments were made in March. We are working on the budget for next year. That will happen over the next couple months, but we did have a meeting today to go over some capital expenses for the next couple years. We are also, we received bids for health insurance for next year, and we are going through the big bid process. New rates would be effective July 1st. I did attach a letter that was sent from Ide Bailey, along with a request for proposal of audit services. We will need to find a new auditor for the 2023 school year. So they will audit us this coming summer through fall, and then so when we send a letter, they can choose to just bid for 1 year or provide 4 years of services. So hopefully, there's actually no requirements on how this is sent out, but I will send it to at least 4 to 5 firms, preferably staying up in the northern half of Minnesota, and we'll see what we get. And then next month, we can review them and hopefully make a selection for an auditor. And the pay equity report was actually submitted January 31st, and I did attach that information. And it is posted in the staff workroom. So it's a report that has to be completed every 3 years. The state just makes sure that we are compensating employees in a standard range and making sure we are being competitive and consistent with all employees in work areas. And the reports I submitted were in compliance, so we should be just fine. Usually we'll receive a final notice within a couple months. So, any questions on that?
Any questions for Sheena? No. I did have a question, maybe back to Mary. The April open house,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so the April 4th open house, Jeff and I worked together to put a letter to, and that's been sent to parents, and so we'll be meeting at 5:30 in the choir room because our fifth graders have their, I'm gonna call it a wax museum.
That's what it is. It's a wax museum.
Display that's going on here with parents, so I, did communicate with the fifth grade teachers, and they thought 5:30 would be a good time that the students and parents would have been able to get through the setup in here and then just go next door to the choir room. And we'll have basically a Q&A session with them to answer questions they may have, explain what we foresee for the upcoming future for our sixth graders.
So that'll be, when we talked about the transition as far as moving sixth graders
Yes.
up,
Yes.
that'll be
Yeah.
kind of part of that. Okay, thank you. Okay, next up we have activities director, Sam Warner.
Hello. So you'll see the slate of coaching positions for the spring. Excited as always about the crew that we have working through all of our activities for this spring. A lot of familiar faces, a couple notes on things that were actually changed between when the agenda went out and when you're seeing it now. Nick Anderson, our baseball coach, is experiencing some health problems. Nothing crazy, but is just going to take a little bit to figure out what's going on. So we have moved Tony Grouse into the head varsity position, and TJ Frericks has stepped into the assistant position there. It's possible Nick will come back to help out or volunteer, and we will figure that out as the situation evolves. He's definitely still excited and enthusiastic about being involved, just can't commit full time to what we're doing. So that's the change you see there and a little bit of the context around it. A little bit of, I'll kind of move into my next section in terms of numbers. So I've outlined some enrollment numbers we have in each of our activities. A lot of this, I will say, is fluid in this time of year, especially given that none of our sports are outside. We find that there's a lot of shifting in terms of kids joining, kids moving sports prior to their really heavy competition season. So kids are moving over to golf, or junior high track just started today. So there's these are not super solid numbers as of yet, and we'll figure those out over the course of the next couple days, or probably next week. A couple notes. You'll note that we said yes to sixth grade participating in junior high. I forgot my boys on that list. Participating in junior high boys and girls track. Track tends to be a sport that's a little bit easier to include more folks in. So that was we're excited to be able to do that. We have a number of Canadian sixth graders who've decided to come over, so we're pretty excited about their inclusion in that as well. We are not going to have formal junior high golf because Mike and I can cover the junior high golfers that we have there. So we do have a couple that are in that age, but they will play either with the varsity, depending on their capacity, or go to the junior high meets. So we just decided not to have a formal junior high golf situation. Softball, we also don't have a junior high team. Numbers are low in general on the softball front. Number of reasons for that. If you have some specifics, we can go over that. There are a few 8th graders on that team for softball. They're capable enough that we pull them up to the varsity. It fills in our varsity numbers in a good complementary way. But I think definitely we got to ramp up the recruiting for softball in the near future. So something that's definitely on my mind. And conversely, baseball is filled to the brim with participation. I think we're actually up to 22 junior hires, and that is only 7th and 8th grade. So our valiant Chuck Merchant and Eric Tangy are doing a great job at wrangling that crew. They are enthusiastic and a lot of fun, but there's a lot of them, and they have a lot of enthusiasm. So we're incredibly excited about that turnout. That does impact our decision on pulling 6th grade up for that group. I think there's enough people there that adding another potentially 6 to 8 sixth graders would make that challenging. So I think we're leaning towards no on that. We'll see how the season happens in terms of maybe we invite them out to some outdoor practices or things like that. So yeah, that's a kind of outline on numbers. Community ed, we have Bear Swim Club is going on right now. Jenny Skoog is gonna do her spring run club. Jill is running K-1 volleyball. Thankful to Jill, she kind of does that on her own, so appreciate her enthusiasm and all of that. Summer activities, we'll do all of the summer ball teams. Lisa has got a ton of signups happening for swimming lessons over the course of the summer, both through individuals as well as schools and groups that tend, so there's a group from Little Fork that comes over, there's a group from Morrison that comes down, so she's got a lot of connections that are continuing to grow. And along those lines, the pool update, I'm excited to say that our pool numbers, our attendance numbers are way up from when I think I last reported you on that in January. Something like over 60 people every Friday for the last month and a half. And at times, I think it's more like 75 or 80, which makes that pool a hopping place. And some of that is more birthdays. We hosted our elementary basketball year-end party, so like K through third grade year-end basketball party at the pool on a Friday. And we were one group. There were 3 other birthdays going on at the same time and 2 others later in the evening that we had to clean up for. I had to return a cupcake that one of my basketball players stole from another birthday. He ran over with this like very beautifully decorated cupcake and I was like, that's not ours! You gotta go put that back! Thankfully the parents were very kind. So I'm incredibly excited that the pool is like getting, I think a little concern about it coming back from COVID, and it's happening, which is really great. We have not had, unfortunately though, the signups for lifeguarding class that I think that should follow, that we want to follow that kind of return. So, a charge to everybody in the room. You know of somebody who wants to sign up to be a lifeguard. The class is the 15th and 16th, and then the 21st and 22nd of April. So it's 2 weekends. You have to attend both weekends. We've upped the baseline pay to $15 an hour. So we are excited about it. We've got an exciting pool, lots of things happening, but we need lifeguards to make all of that happen. So.
Just post it on Facebook at 6 o'clock too.
Yeah,
So share.
It's on Facebook, well timed. So that's what I've got. Any questions about any of that?
Do you think the $150 fee is a challenge for some? Have you heard that at all, I guess?
I think it's a good question in that, and Lisa has, I think, brought it up in terms of, is there a way that we could either pay it back? So if somebody puts the money up front and we say, okay, if you work X number of shifts, then we'll pay you back for it. So we get a promise on return of that, which is, I'd be more comfortable with that than potentially just calling it free, because I think then we don't get the promise of work. But I think you're hitting close to something on that's something we should consider. So, because we'll make that back if we have more sessions open, right? So, yeah, it's a good question. I can check in with Lisa and report back with you. It's a little bit short notice in terms, because we'll have the lifeguarding session before then, but.
Yeah, I was just thought when I saw that,
Might be a thing.
a challenge for some.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check in with Lisa. Cool.
Thank you.
I just have to say, of the 4 of you that presented, that was amazing. That was the only one that actually shared so much information, and like you can tell that you actually care about your job and what you're doing. And I think that everyone that presents should promote a conversation and discussion like that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I am also the fun guy, right? Like the content I have is the fun stuff. To expect Sheena to make like.
You gotta make it a little more lively, Sheena, yeah.
So I appreciate the compliment.
Present with a
I also
smile.
have the fun stuff to talk about, so.
Just smile while you do it.
Do we have time? I would like to if we could, yeah.
I don't think we have anything else, do we?
Okay. I had mentioned going to look at the.
Oh, yeah.
New space or the hallways, if it works.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That'd be fun.
The junior high wing, where the
Oh,
lockers
I've
are gonna be.
When we're there,
You can't hear her, can you? She wants to take a field trip
Okay,
to the new 6th grade wing.
okay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now?
can we look at the career and college readiness room while we're there? We'll be in that area.
Doesn't exist right now.
Oh, I thought it did.
I can show you the room that has been used, and I can show you the room that's going to be.
It's in transition now with the.
With the new, okay.
Yes, because that's where the 6th grade home is going to be.
Oh, okay.
Things are moving.
Ivor we're walking. Are you gonna stay here, or are you gonna come with? We're just gonna go check out where Owen's gonna be attending school next year. Gonna go see where Owen's It's pretty good. How are you doing? She had twins. Yes, she did. They are 2 weeks old, maybe?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I get your contact info so we can network together a little bit?
Sure. You bet. Oh, is that what they're doing?
I work on the, foster grandparent program here at the school. I just come and hang out with the kids and
Okay.
try to network and get a feel for the ones that are having problems keeping up. And the COVID thing has kind of set some of the younger ones back on their levels. Kind of do one-on-one with some of those special.
Excellent. Yeah, get a hold of me. We're, who knows? I mean, there's any help. You're doing with certain grades or teachers or? Yeah.
You're Randy Beach.
Your stuff.
Yeah, I work with Tri-Valley Community.
BDA, something, BC, 218.
634 and 13.
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna, on this bandana program, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I even thought about doing like hall monitor grandfathers, where they just actually just kind of hang out in the hallways when in between classes and whatever, and just help monitor and let the kids know we're here.
Yep. Yeah.
So that if, something comes up, they don't have any security here at all, so it'd be kind of good to, my background is criminal justice, so I'm a little bit sensitive about
Okay.
school security.
So is mine. I've been 35 years in law enforcement.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
here in central Minnesota.
Oh.
So, all right, I think I'm gonna go take in that whole talk. All right, good talking, nice meeting you. Did they say where they were going? I'm not sure.
Probably be in the elementary area, I would think.
Okay, thank you. See, I was in security.
So what do you think, Toby? Is there some way of opening up this dialogue going on here, or what?
Not until the board gets off their ass.
I mean, it's like you got all this mandate coming down from the state. I mean, how do we know what's going on,
My kids go to Roseville School and I'm nervous. As a parent,
State of
I mean, you
Minnesota.
don't,
it's scary. It's very scary.
yeah. I mean, you got the state mandate stuff, critical race theory and social justice and the LGBTQ plus stuff coming into the curriculum in the libraries and all that kind of stuff. What's that? Why not?
CSR.
What?
It's QSA.
QSA, First Straight Alliance.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. They're the ones that held the meeting, no parents allowed, no adults.
No parents, no adults. I wouldn't allow it at the door. Ooh, I was pissed. That's him.
That's pretty much what you.
Well, they found, I heard on the news.
Marxist or Nazi, yeah, the same thing.
I heard on the news just before I came in, the woman that did the shooting in Nashville is transgender.
Well, that's why I wanna spend some time with the.
I was just gonna show you. Where the hell was it?
Do you think they would allow there to be a chaplain on campus here?
No.
No, wouldn't do it, no?
No, you won't allow.
I mean, the military allows chaplains, so why wouldn't, I mean, that's a.
They have your requirement, military.
No.
No, not
How about armed security?
You could probably get armed security here before that. Nothing religious. I was sort of wanting Tim Lyons to be here, he's on the board. Like I told him, I said, I quit raising hell with you guys on one condition. He goes, what's that? He says, there's a US flag in every room and a copy of the Ten Commandments. He said, well, we can't do that. I said, well, then I can't quit.
Yeah, this all the problem started happening with the Ten Commandments.
I saw a deal this morning, they said in the young adults today, forget the ages, but they use like us, our year group, or my year group, I think.
Oh, I'm there.
Okay. Patriotism was like 74, 75%. Religion was right up there as far as beliefs, that's what's important.
It's not.
Patriotism was like 36%, and religion was 34%.
That's why I talked to
That
Jeff
pretty well
about it.
explains that shit.
So I talked to Jeff about it a little bit. I said, don't you understand that it's a spiritual warfare going on here? Or don't you even grasp the concept?
Nope. You're talking to a stump there. This thing of security, it was a game word. Oh, God damn it, I can't find it now. For Christ's sakes. Anyway, there's 32 states trying to get that through. It's to the point where there's actually a move afoot to make it an amendment to the Constitution. And the bill passed the House of Representatives, and the same hour that it passed the House of Representatives, Schumer told the whole free world that, oh, good, it passed the House of Representatives. But we'll never see the floor in the Senate. We won't even allow it on the floor. That really helps them.
Shows his colors, who he really is.
Right.
I mean, that's the same thing Hitler
Just
did
had it.
and Karl Marx. Karl Marx proclaimed that the parents were oppressive people that must be taken out of the equation. That's why they refer to the government in Russia as Mother Russia, not. If people want to live that way, go over there and live, you know? That's what they practice.
Hitler did the same thing.
Hitler did the same thing, exact same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of coming along pretty quick now. Infiltration.
It's over, it's out.
But it's,
We just have a responsibility to stand firm, that's all, you know, probably not just because of the.
Well, I mean, they're not even telling you the stuff, transgenders and all that, really what's all doing to these kids. Over 40% higher suicide rate right off the top.
Yeah.
17 new different types of cancer because you're injecting different hormones into their bodies that it was never meant to be. It's just the whole list of things that they're not telling anybody that, all for the sake of political
I
purposes.
forget the percentage, but 8th graders in the United States, quote unquote, cannot functionally read.
They're not even close to being ready. I mean, you couldn't even get them ready to
And now,
do a minimum wage job, entry level.
now I'll tell you another little story, loud enough for everybody to hear. A few years ago, this school, because there had so many kids that was below 70%, they were failing. You ready for what they did? They lowered the failure rate. So they didn't fail. Yeah, that fixed it.
Just lower the bar, that's all you
Yeah,
gotta
that's
do.
My God.
I grew up in that public school system. I know what it was all about. I mean, where I went to high school, it was a joke. It was just, we had no clue what we were trying to prepare ourselves for.
My daughter went to Gustavus. And she got her master's degree at Mankato. And then she went to work at Oswego, New York State University. And she told me one day, she says, I will never, when it comes time for kids, I will never have my kids in a public school.
That's why they need to have the school choice, so that funding goes with the kids, so that parents can send their kid. If they know they'll collapse a public school system. If they allow it, that's
Fine,
why they
at
don't-
least
I
our
know,
kids will get something, you know, I mean,
But
so
the
they
thing
work.
is, that's why it won't fly,
But the
because
thing of it is, up here, what's your choice?
Right. In your rural community.
well, in this, you can make that a school, you know. It's all set up, ready to go,
Indus,
but it can't be run as a public school.
Indus is dead. It's too far away from anything.
Yeah, but just to get school vouchers for this state, good luck. You'll never see it. You'll never see it. They're so embedded in the unions that it's like,
Right.
yeah, you don't want your kid to go, yeah,
It's
so,
getting worse.
yeah.
It's getting worse. You know, and it just, I'd hate, well, for example, that shooting today was at a private Christian church,
Yeah.
or Christian school.
And somebody just came in, decided just to walk in and start shooting the place up.
28-year-old transgender female, woman, whatever.
As a male or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't much matter, she was carrying 2 AKs and a pistol. Walked in the door shooting. Killed 3 adults and 3 kids.
Well, I'm really looking forward to meeting with Jeff, because I think he's got a good thing going.
Well, that-
And make it happen, so.
That idea is damn good.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell, if it saves,
Yeah, I'll help network with him on that.
hell, if it saves one kid.
Right. I mean, they even had,
This suicide. At Gustavus. Uses. Damn.
Really, really good. That happened constantly.
Thank you, Jeff. Remember when we went to see the welding? Yes, when it was new and.
Well, and once you see it, it's easier to explain to somebody who has questions.
That's how I feel.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know where the new wing is.
Right.
I still lost it. I'd say I can attest to all the birthday parties because I try to use the walkie.
Oh, I think so.
Yes, yes.
I think so.
I've talked to a lot of the parents, just because I have a kid, and they want to know specifics like that, like,
So the 6th grade lockers, would they also be between that room and
Mr. Larson's room? Like, they go all the way down to the end then?
If they start on the far side of the door, yeah, it'd be between that door and then I'd put 8th graders next. So the following year, the 6th graders are close again. And then after that, we'd have the rotation of positions down.
So you'd always reserve that for 6th grade, they'd get assigned a
Well, no, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
But what, they'd get assigned a locker and stay that locker?
Yeah, they'd be in that locker for 3 years.
Yeah, the 7th grade one. Or the
No, all
6th,
3 grades.
7th, and 8th graders.
Oh, all of them, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Okay,
next
got
year's 6th graders, their lockers will be their locker for 3 years.
Okay.
And I say more detail because that's what a lot of parents and even students or like Odin's come home and asked, how is this gonna work?
Well, that's good because I
or-
can, after school that day, I can go and put signage up. and
Yeah.
Put on them, so that helped, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, are we ready to start the regular meeting?
We don't have to hear from anybody else. They're not here. No. Just making sure. Okay.
Want to say the pledge? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I will second it.
Any board presenters? No board presenters. Written communications. So we've got the I-Bailey disengagement letter, just informing us that they are no longer providing that service. Next up, we've got no old business, correct? So new business. Looking for a motion to approve the February 27th, 2023 regular board meeting minutes and the March 6th, 2023 special board meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Sostgard and Ellis. Any discussion? For a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve the invoices, financial statements, bank reconciliation, wire transfers, and purchase card statement.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Ellis and Robita. Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we are looking for a motion to approve Resolution 2022-2023-23 to non-renew Joyce Claypool, probationary teacher, at the end of the 2022-2023 school year, effective May 30th, 2023.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, Sostgard and second by Ellis. Any discussion?
Just to thank her for her service and
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve Resolution 2022/2023-24 to non-renew Amanda Reardon, probationary teacher, at the end of the 2022-2023 school year, effective May 30th, 2023.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Robita and Sostgard. Any discussion?
No, but also, as Ann said, as Lynette said, to thank her for her service.
Thank you. All right, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we're looking for a motion to approve the appointment of Sarah Pearson as a junior and senior high mathematics teacher for the 2023-24 school year.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ellis, second by Robita. Any discussion?
Thank her for her elementary service and
Yeah.
welcome her to the secondary classes. Addition.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve the 2022-23 spring sports coaching positions as presented. Spring sport coaching positions: track, boys and girls, Kurt Dorbeck, head varsity; JP Sweet, assistant varsity; Nick Otto, junior high. Baseball: Tony Brose, head varsity; TJ Frericks, assistant varsity; Chuck Merchant, junior high; Eric Tangy, junior high. Softball: Katie Hasbargen, head varsity; John Perla, assistant volunteer. And golf: Mike Papera, head varsity boys, and Samantha Lyon, head varsity girls.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Sonstegard and Ellis. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve the request for proposals for audit services.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Ellis and Robita. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to approve the pay equity report.
I'll motion.
Sonstegard,
I'll second that.
Ellis. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve the resolution 2022/2023-20 to accept our $500 donation from Mount Carmel WELCA for the backpack program.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ellis, second by Sonstegard. Any discussion?
Just a thank you to them to continue, for their continued support on that program.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're looking for a motion to approve resolution 2022/2023-21 to accept a $50 donation from the American Legion 217 for the Ticket to Read program.
I have to abstain from this vote.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
And I'll second it.
Yeah, that'll work great, because never mind. Okay. Motion by Sonstegard, second by Ellis. Any discussion other than Carla will abstain from voting? Correct. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And thank you to the American Legion for their donation. And next we have a motion to approve resolution 2022/2023-22 to accept a $100 donation from the American Legion 217 for the backpack program.
I'll motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Robita with a second by Ellis. Any discussion? Say thank you to the Legion for the donation. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Any other business? Okay. We will adjourn at 7:11. Is there gonna be summer camp?
Yes.
Not sure where you, right here, this is the tape. Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Oh, I thought I hit the button. I'm not
This?
holding it.